Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and also a special welcome to those of you who don't fit that prescription. What you're about to see is circus performing Jean Jacquel Le Mage, the man who kidnapped the world. In 1893, the world was on the brink of chaos. Numerous wars were fought everywhere. Old laws and dogmas ruled the mind of the people, and a huge span between the rich and the poor were the most dominant factor in every conflict all over the world. Our hero Le Mage sought to put an end to all this. He created a theatrical show so wonderful and intricate, and secretly designed to instantaneously transform anyone who looked upon that show into the best version of themselves. Le Mage then kidnapped all the leaders of the world and placed them in a hidden theater, forcing them to see his show, ridding them of their demons and saving the world from all evil. But something went terribly wrong at that show. At the most crucial moment, when the theater hall was filled with tormenting demons and the audience sat spellbound and horrified, a gruesome demon escaped from the magician himself. He lost his concentration because in the demon's face, he saw his own fate. The great show now turned to chaos, and instead of saving the world, he had freed the demons that lives inside humanity and set them loose. And now there was only one thing to do, and by sacrificing himself, he managed to gain control of the horrible situation by forcing all the demons of the hall into himself and sealing them there in his mind. And then, Jean Jacquel Le Mage, being a magician, he vanished on stage. Our story begins 10 hours before. And ladies and gentlemen, would you be so kind to imagine that we're standing on a harbor? And imagine a great warship and a group of soldiers who just finished boarding to their destination, war. Le Mage and his troop stands on the wharf among the waving people gathered there. He looks at the ship with a sad expression when suddenly a strange smile curls his lips. He turns around facing his group of artists to inform them to go execute his genius plan. Go! Kidnap all the leaders of the world. Bring them to my show. All this warring stops tonight. Executing a 7 long year in making plan to save humanity, my family from slavery. Listen, boys, I've got a plan. Root out evil from our land. Teach our leaders on their thrones that all is made from workers' bones. Down the slippery slopes we go. Down those deep below. Check out evil that lives there. All through tunnels everywhere. Up on High Street we are there. The teams to whisper in their ear. Killers, builders of the line. Through this work we'll make right. The panicking will see our run, the bring our fear there, buccaneer, smashing, pumping, ringing and clunking, screams and shouts as I could arrive. Down the slippery slopes we go, down through tunnels deep below, to seek out evil that lives there, up through tunnels everywhere. I'll make a show so dark and cold. Unleash their demons from their fold. See them crumble in my might. Our leaders turn so strong and bright. To righteous rulers once more with peace and loving as the lore. Go now, boys, spread the word. We set the plan in motion.
To witness the show, clueless the words of the faded plan, concocted to cleanse them from the thing that should not be, the thing that makes kin to foe, and drives us all further and further away, with the evident joint goal, rendering everyone a lost individual, fighting for soul survival. Here is what happened at the show.
Welcome, leaders of the world, listen to Le Mage. Kings and queens of every kind, humanity's in chains. Wag the dogma, stop the wheel, throw norm's heavy yoke. When you are freed from all your wrongs, this prison's just a joke. Ponder over pointy things, imagine your enemies at the end. If you are the remedy for a good life in prosperity, and all you do is generosity, how can there be poverty? Someone in this room is lying, all the blame's on you.
The magician's eyes shone with a dark and terrible light. The horrified leaders have transfixed. Reflected in the magician's eyes, they saw their own demons, and they howled with terror and shame, feeling their approaching demons. Paralyzed from their own worst fears, they cast their hands over their heads, and they screamed.
When I snap my finger, you are in my might. Out from darkness in our night, you throw your secrets in the light. Then when honesty's evident, all your tales will shew. Your flip side is personified. Enter demons of shadow. Them all tonight. All kingdoms come and tonight. The show goes terribly wrong. every person in the audience, gnarled silhouettes sprang, revealing the most disregarded sides of all humanity's herders. Although the great Jean Jacquel Le Mage show was going exactly according to plan, a thought suddenly nagged at him. And no matter how much he reasoned over his doings, the thought grew and grew into a black silhouette, and a demon of his own device now materialized from him as well. And from having kept the entire Earth's prominent people hostage in his didactic trance, he suddenly collapsed on the floor, and every demon fell on him, sucked into the mage, until everyone was gone, rendering the theater hall silent and pitch black. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to all. Tonight we travel back in time to witness the birth of an epoch that shaped the world as we see it today. Ancient gents, you're in the cross the road, we unravel the mystery at the world's first show. A famous magician, his plan, his mission, he vanished for where they go. With cunning tricks, illusion, and misty word is bedazzled, prayed away to inform sense of a right evidence of irrelevant even today. It's God's no need for claiming a dream, ensnaring the tops of society. He summoned demons of kings, but Rajas and dreams, and he froze when he saw one single demon of his own. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it all went bad. The magician Jacquel stood frozen, facing this one demon of his own. The demon that had escaped his mind and his notice. The demon that stared at him from the darkness of the stage. And he saw in the horrible face of truth, and he realized what had to be done. And with the strength of 10 buckskin horses, and 2 pink elephants, and a 3-legged orphan dog named Purple, with that entire strength, he forced the terrifying demons back from the tormented audience, and forced them into himself, sealing them there, deep in his mind. Collapsed on itself, the magician, the tyrant, he fell down in a gruesome black hole, confronted with efforts of his goal. He finds himself in a cell, his mind is a roaring hell, pondering, I still got this wondrous story to tell. Through tormenting demons around, through laughter and horrible sounds, he faced his worst regrets, and he said before they fled, you might have one first act, but I'll sure get you, that's a fact. I'll be my own savior. Now you have met your maker. Ladies and gentlemen, like you just heard, the mage barely manages to gain control of the horrible situation by forcing all the demons into himself, sealing them there in his mind, creating a prison for them there. And after the collapse of the great show, the mage finds himself on a road leading to a dark and terrible prison. But all the inmates in that prison, they greet him like he's one of their own. One step wrong, you are forfeit. Stumble, hopeless, make a miss. If you try to get a grip, the laws to custom make you trip. It takes nothing to tip the balance. Hard and steel, don't bend it, raise. Vanity can turn to hate, a gnawing feeling of disgrace. And it makes you feel alone, and it makes you feel alone, and it makes you feel alone. So seek a place where you belong. Strive to grow to be someone. Finally, you get a grip. Cross the line, it's a one-way fit. And now you are most wanted, carried into town. They're cheering your arrival. Hurrah, hurrah, hurrah. They throw you into prison. It feels quite comfortable. If it's there, they want your soul. Well, it's where you feel at home. 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 are strong when we are many. Here we share every penny. Time is lazy and unyielding. When good intent is shadowed by the relic, look behind it. Life is just a summary of faded things that used to be. Live like a hobo, act like a king. Piles of money don't matter in the end. They'll never get me nor my passion for ride. We only see ourselves on stage when conjured stories from fright. Try to fit in line, falling out the other side. The price for being different, it's loneliness, it's loneliness, it's loneliness, it's loneliness. Benevolent methods, this night flies over human life. I don't fit in at all. I don't fit in at all. When stubbornness marks the effortless, when everyone's comfortable with regret, I come back to life. Then imprisonment isn't really the right place for redemption. For Le Mage or for anyone else for that matter. Le Mage holds the key to the world's salvation. The great show that was supposed to save the world can now save him. But for this he needs his band. He needs his group of artists. He needs an orchestra. There is a saying, regardless of the praying, that all good deeds will come back good to you. And all the hating is surely to start fading if all our deeds are based on good beliefs. Your neighbor suffers, so do you. And education and respective contemplation, with curriculum of time's most heinous crime. Emancipation through generations, send us through every scene. Bend the knee, reclaim the key, we only own the time we saw. Emancipation through generations, send us up through every scene. Bend the knee, reclaim the key, constantly renowned. We make our heartbeat count, make something of the time we start. Le Mage and his newfound orchestra of inner demons, they escape his inner prison cell, and they're now setting up the great show of how to save the world up on this very stage, ladies and gentlemen. And in lack of better words, let's just say that it is intro spectacular. And what Le Mage does is that he shows personifications of what is wrong in the human-made world. And the first of these demons we will meet is Sack. And Sack is the tendency to focus a little too much on other people's problems, taking it on one's shoulders to bear the burden of others. And imagine, ladies and gentlemen, if you're carrying on your back a sack filled with misery to the brim. Imagine that you're dragging that sack behind you. You will definitely erase your own footsteps everywhere you go, and you will only leave this slimy trail of disaster in your wake. Come, jump on the Circus Express, ladies and gentlemen. It is an adventure with light into the darkness. attacks everyone. Every human trace race, they're gone. That beetle-like formation crawling on, blocking all the light from the sun. It's a man with a burden on his back. He's the one who makes these weird-looking tracks. Keeps all that collected in his sack. In mean years to break his bag. You've gone astray, took a wrong turn on your way, filled your back with the dirt and other things that realize a bit too late, being crushed under its weight. It's other people's dirt you pulled all over the world. Come on, people! Step up, step up! Yes! Come on, people! Step up, step up! Yeah! Step up, step up! Yes, come on, people, step up! Come and see the monster, everyone! Every human trace erased, they are gone! That beetle-like formation crawling on! He's blocking all the light, 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 he's blocking all the light. We're standing in the shadow of all those collected problems. And problems make you thirsty. And a scientist friend of mine told me that technically alcohol is the solution. So we go to the local bar, the Glittering Star, to get that drink. And in this bar sits our next demon, Bill. Bill worked all his life in the mines, never at home with his wife. Because when he was a little boy, society told him that's what real men do. Look down there at the bar. There sits old Bill. Bill, he's that long-haired, half-blind man. He worked all of his life in the mines below. For what? For what, ya furrows? In the old bar called the Glittering Star sits old Bill in the darkness. He worked all his life in the mines below. See the scar on his cheek, see the white dots in his eyes. He's almost blind. The mine took his side. All this she follows. But she left him for a young man, a man with a rose in his hand. All Bill ever wanted was for her to be happy. That's what I call irony. Come on, boy! Come on, girl! Broken chair in the shattered home sits old Bill there, he's all alone, carving crosses, sowing the seeds, thinking of all his unquitted deeds. Bill, I know you're blind and you can't see a thing, but your ears work quite alright and you can hear me sing. Pull the trigger, make the angels sing. End your life with the bullet. Fight from your wedding ring. Your wedding ring.
all just heard. Alcohol is actually a solution, so go to the bar. 15 minutes break.
Come on, you lazy asses! Get back to work! The work doesn't do itself! If you want something to eat, you better work for it! Forwards faster! Forwards faster! Forwards faster! Forwards faster! Forwards faster! A rider sits on rider's back, whipping rider forward fast. A pushing motor, straining wheels, howling metal, grinding teeth. Gears are shaking in distress, bent to open sheds from stress. Forwards faster, rider, my body shouts the rider. Upon the back this rider's nag, shifted rider forward fast. Froth drips from outstretched lips, a warning snarl precedes the whip. The only thing this monster knows is striking words and hitting blows. Forwards faster, rider, my body shouts the rider. There are lots and lots of people who'll oblige, and they'll do this work better, faster, cheaper, and they'll work at night. And just cry out to them and they'll arrive. And they'll be happy to do this work besides. There are tons of replacements outside my door. What? What do you need sleep for? Do you need any sleep? A lot of us share Rider's fate. A vivid spirit was Rider's trade. He broke his freedom with a chain, sold his heart for wealth and gain. Now he's strange, he must keep up. He heard grim things happen if you stop. Forwards faster, rider, my body shouts the rider. The iron cattle, we call them. Half a motor, half a wheel. Corruption of the human mind. Work, work, meaning of life. Whoever came up with that great idea, inventing the genius absurdly obscenius, self-regulating, reflexious training, self-sacrificing device so neat, a motor that thrives on fear and greed. Oh! Every day, after a long day's work, the workers from the factory, they run home to their homes to get a couple of hours sleep before they have to get back to work so they can be rich and powerful. But one man inside the strange mind of demons inside Le Mage, this man comes home every day to the same spot where his house used to be. There is a home across the street where my son lived with Mary and me. Now it's empty, just like the streaks where the tears run down my cheeks. The sun rise There's so many people in this world who lost all they've got. And the prosperous societies here on this earth, they don't really want to cope with these kind of people. So they've figured out a strange way to unhumanize them. We don't call them humans anymore. We call them the poor, the unfortunate, the fugitives. So we don't have to cope anymore. But if we don't cope with these people, they are lost. Here is Sam in the pouring rain. It rains and it rains, and the street is washed away by rain, and only muddy pools of water can be seen here in the wasteland. And in one of these pools, we find our next unfortunate demon. It is Abel, and he's struggling to stay over the muddy waters. But the way he chose to live his life makes him unable. Now, my friend, we're here again, grasping at the straws. Whispers of your shouted words, they echo nevermore. Measure all you did by height and weight and width, but in the darkness of it all, your shadow seems so small. Standing in that usual place, you're dark and grimy more. Witness though through less weight, others be so sure. Your heavy burden structure is on the verge of rupture. Unrighteous that's the damned weakness makes you powerless. You seek but hate a place, so you flee 'cause you are evil. But it's a bad, bad choice. It's a bad, bad choice. It's a bad choice. Young, strong, able, broken by betrayal. Big black kitty towers, all you've done. Lived in vain, cling to your cane. The obstacle's origins is to blame.
got your name. Yeah, it's got your name. Yeah, the shed from friend to foe looks just the same. Plundering headfirst in our grave, you be safe. Listen, maid, in the darkness corner of the stage, that's where we place in this stage. That monumental obelisk of shame. Yeah, that monumental obelisk of shame. Yeah, that monumental obelisk of shame. You're struggling so much to stay over the muddy waters. And you had a great life, but you pissed it all away. You looked at other people. You were so jealous. Other people aren't better than you. They are just different. And we here at the circus, we have a gift for you. A brand new gravestone to fit that muddy pool of water you're in. Tobias. It's got your name. 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 Let me write something for you, Abel. Here lies Abel on 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 Abel. Here lies Abel on
You remember the soldiers we sent away in the beginning of the story? The soldiers we sent out upon the world to fight for the good, to spread world peace on the world. We now arrive here on a little hill on which a gallows stands. And the soldiers, they're carrying out their duties in the name of the good. And some are killed for oil, some for religion, and some for money. But those two hanging here in the trees, they were killed for love. Feet swing in the wind. Nothing tells the difference to you and me, they look the same. Depends on who you choose to blame. Venture down this road, well, this is where it ends. Winners, losers, all that's gained is hanging in the trees by the neck. Heroes' deeds, we are made believe, a glorified protector of the weak. Doug was hung for helping his son, complicated tale. The boy was on the other side. The father's desperate fight with death, he won, he managed to save his son. But death has workers everywhere. The soldiers came to the house that day, cast them both in iron and took them away. No, wait, Doc shouted, "Shut up, old man! That boy is an enemy of the state." Now their feet swing in the wind, the screams and shouts has just died out. Father and son hang so peacefully. The doctors sworn to serve the weak, and soldiers fight to preserve the peace. And in the fight for good there are casualties. That's why we stare ahead, pretend we're not afraid. Don't look back at the havoc in your wake. Heroes' deeds, we are made believe, a glorified protector of the weak. two, 1, 2. There is nothing in the world we'd rather do. Think ourselves anointed protectors of the good. With a course that's set for us is easy to do. We just close our eyes, smile and think of you. There is nothing in the world we'd rather do. To think ourselves anointed protectors of the good. With the course that's set for us it's easy to do. We just close our eyes, smile and think of you. March away, boys, march away. Let your troubles lose, let worries fade away. We are at home where we are strong. We all depict where we belong. March away, boys, march away. Back home, a long way from war, sit some rich people making war on the world. And they are seen as rich. And they're seen as heroes just because they're rich. Society teaches us that we must strive to be successful. If we make something as lucrative as war, if we make money equal success, then something as lucrative as war must be a good thing. It takes a little tiny force to dig a little tiny peas. When they're forced and we're moving in with our machines, and with our force they will be free. We make their lives so smooth and neat, and when we're done we sell them pieces of the peas. 'Cause we are heroes, heroes of the day. Yes, we are heroes, move out of my way. Yes, we are heroes, provide what you need. And if you disagree, you're our enemy. It takes a little tiny piece, and they will soon be on their knees. They'll scrape our boots and wash our feet. We'll be like saviors from the seas. And while we have them chasing dreams, oblivious to where it leads. Here's the trick, they're a good deal when they're weak. 'Cause we are heroes, heroes of the day. Yes, we are heroes, move out of my way. Yes, we are heroes, provide what you need. And if you disagree, you're our enemy. A little peace, that's really what we need. A little peace, that's what we need. A little peace, that's really what we need. A little peace, that's what we need. A little peace, that's really what we need. A little peace, that's what we leave you. A little peace, that's really what we need. A little peace, that's what we leave. One day, the soldiers back home, they realize what they're doing. They're sent out upon the world to do good, to fight in the name of the good, to spread world peace in tin cans. So the soldiers back home, they call the soldiers at the front. The people who sent them out upon the world to fight in the name of the good did by doing so commit themselves to an evil deed. So now the soldiers know exactly what to do. So they board the rowship ship Rhea once again, set sail for home to rid the world of the real evil, the people who sent them out. Us. And Le Mage and his troop, they're following the soldiers back home in a little rowboat. And in the rowboat is the personification of those who benefits too much from war. Sand, parallel trader's trail, as with rice but figures stand. Static statues of trees once meant, and the twisted full bone show. Now they feed on fish from those who drained their waters, stole their gold. The bones of vultures traders gold. Their eye to eye, a cloak's unfold reveals a pile of all I need to stay alive. I live out here 1,000 lives. self-inflicted course, you see. Drain a land of its resources and make it utterly incapable. You create a monster that will feed on you. The dry spot figures stand, static statues of three swans men. In the twisted folds I throw the part of all the stolen food. Gobble, gobble down the hole. All the power time will show. Barren landscape, nothing grows if sprout will come well. Time's a healer now, that's for sure. Well, you really enjoy. Soldiers look back on their trail of disaster, and now they It takes a long, long time to row home in that little rowboat carrying all these people, ladies and gentlemen. But when we finally come home, we can see that the soldiers have taken over the world. And there are soldiers everywhere. And they've put the people to justice. And they're building a new city. And they're calling it New Purgatory. And they've set a flock of birds to build the new road to the capital. And when we walk the road to Purgatory, we can see that it is not birds building the road. It is people, tarred and feathered and righteously punished for their crime on humanity, exploitation. And when we walk the road, we hear this strange life song. And all these people, they all live in the capital. So let's just call them capitalists. Bucks for my toys while I grow up. Oh dear Lord, gonna get me a box filled with nothing like my neighbor's gun. Oh dear Lord, this box is my life. Thanks for this box that I can think inside. Oh dear Lord, they say I'm stuck, so I'm going upstream to see if I have luck. Oh dear Lord, I'm washing my hands. The rivers run red while we hoist our flags. These lands are filled with riches, and they say this river's heart is made of gold. Oh dear Lord, I got my bucks. First back at New Purgatory, I own the luck. Oh dear Lord, I hope they find the gold. All the people that I've killed, all the mortgages I've sold. dear Lord, there wasn't any gold. Same stock sold 1,000 times. They can never know.
Come on!
In one way or the other, we just need to make the people feel the whole. In the search for riches, I've traded my eyes. Now every stone I find, I just imagine that it shines. My children will have riches in abundance, 'cause I'm drawing them a river filled with gold. In the search for riches, I've traded my eyes. Now every stone I find, I just imagine that it shines. My children will have riches in abundance, 'cause I'm drawing them a river filled with gold.
Le Mage and his troupe, they're now standing in the capital. And there are soldiers everywhere. And the soldiers are looking for the leaders of the world. But there aren't no leaders left anywhere. And then it dawns on Le Mage that if there aren't no leaders here, then he knows exactly where he is. If hell and the real world now look so much alike, then he can walk directly from his own hell into the real world. And in the real world, he knows exactly where the leaders are. So he runs to the theater in backstage, and there he looks out from the backstage, out upon the stage. He's very agile about it. And the old Le Mage looks out upon the stage, and on the stage he sees his younger Le Mage standing there. And there are leaders of the world everywhere, demons flying around, and the audience is screaming. And the older Le Mage looks at the younger Le Mage. And the younger Le Mage looks at the older Le Mage. And he sees in the horrible face truth. And he realizes what has to be done. And with the strength of 10 buck-skinned horses and 2 pink elephants and a 3-legged orphan dog named Barbara, with that entire strength, he forces all of the demons of the hall into a little bowl. And he takes that bowl and he seals it inside his own mind. And then Jean Jacquel Le Mage, being a magician, he vanishes on stage. The stage is empty. The audience is holding their breath. And out from backstage walks the older, much wiser Le Mage. And the audience, they see reflected in his eyes the journey he's been on, from the beginning to the end. And they realize there aren't no soldiers outside, and there are no demons anymore. He took them away. And they can see the journey from the beginning to the end, the space between here. That is the space you need to achieve world peace. And it's exactly the same space you need to give your enemy a hug.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's been an honor telling you the story of Jean Jacquel Le Mage. If you like the circus, please listen to these sounds one day when you're standing in your kitchen chopping vegetables. Outside your window, you will definitely hear these sounds. We got honest thieves, we got pink elephants, we got green flying pigs, a hat and eat, we got straws to cling to, a pocket filled with missing links. Here we shoot blanks, that's why we never hid. Give us a place away from heaven, a place where we can sin and learn from wrong. I'm a sister sailor, sister battle scout soldier, all the wisdom if you choose to know. Poor happy people and the blind rule the night, actors and hoes about the put more. The rich are the drinks while puppet play the strings, and masters of a laughing stock in holatry. Give us a place away from heaven, a place where we can sin and learn from wrong. I'm a sister sailor, sister battle scout soldier, all the rest of it you choose to know. Teach an old dog a hand of new tricks, I'll give it a go, inspire of old. The white-haired are the young and the children are the wise, eons of wisdom shine in their eyes. Give us a place away from heaven, a place where we can sin and learn from wrong. I'm a sister sailor, sister battle scout soldier, all the wisdom if you choose to know. If clothes make the men, then dresses will wear, and witness victoriously how darkness despairs. I'll see the arena, behold the clown, love lasts forever in glorious endeavor. Give us a place away from heaven, a place where we can sin and learn from wrong. I'm a sister sailor, sister battle scout soldier, all the wisdom if you choose to know. Those with no voice while facing the law sings in our choir in American law. They'll never understand how we live and how we die, why we eat their shit just to bless the man's sky. Heaven, a place where we can sin and learn from wrong. I'm a sister sailor, sister band scout soldiers, all the wisdom if you used to know. Give us a place away from heaven, a place where we can sin and learn from wrong. I'm a sister sailor, sister battle scars and soldiers, all the wisdom if you choose to know. Come and see our circus, every 100 million will come home. Under our canvas we unfold all the shadows lurking in the sun. Come and see our circus, every 100 million will come home. Under our canvas we unfold all the shadows lurking in the sun. We are strong when we are many, here we share every penny. Time is lazy and unyielding.